This sport is sponsored by Anderson Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Padres have a successful weekend against the Boston Red Sox, winning on Saturday and Sunday. They'll be back against the Pirates for the next few days. We got the national championship in college basketball tonight. Michigan taking on UConn. Michigan opened as 7.5-point favorites after they dismantled Arizona the other night. That has been bet down to Michigan favored by 6.5. Late money coming in on UConn. Point total set at 145.5. And per Yahoo Sports, college basketball, the playoff field will be expanding from 68 to 76 teams in the near future. Choosing the right home service company isn't just about fixing what's broken. It's about trusting who's in your home. That's why homeowners count on Anderson for friendly, professional service that keeps everything running right. Visit AndersonPHA.com.
I'm Ben Fletcher. That's Sammy Long.
Well, we know that.
You're a smart guy.
A nice weekend in New England for the Padres.
Machado to deep left field. Back towards the monster and gone.
Taking 2 of 3. Now it's off to Pittsburgh. And we're down to 2 in the madness.
UConn will enter the national championship to play for their 3rd title in the last 4 years. The Michigan Wolverines are on their way to the national championship game.
The title game is tonight, right here, starting at 3. Now, let's get the week going from the San Diego Sports 760 studios in the zone with Fletch and Sammy.
On a Monday, what's happening, everybody? Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2 o'clock today. Sammy will continue the fun right after that, and then Schaefer and Sliwa will be your drive home today on San Diego Sports 760. We got a packed show today, man. We got a really good show for you today. As over the next couple of hours, we'll talk some Padres. Of course, we'll talk about the national championship. We'll give you a little bit of a Masters preview as this week officially kicks off Masters week. Although a lot of the conversation today seems to be wrapped up around Jason Day's outfit choices at the Masters. We got some insight on maybe some bets you can throw down for the Masters coming up on Thursday. Padres with a nice little weekend out in Boston, get 2 out of 3 from the Red Sox. And I think there's some questions to be asked whether or not the Red Sox are just really this bad to start the year. If the Padres maybe figured something out, we'll get into that. We have a 4-pack of tickets. No, excuse me. I apologize. A pair of tickets for you to go out to the Lakeside Rodeo coming up later on in April. One of my favorite weekends of the year, April 26th through the April 26th, the Sunday, is the tickets we got for you later on today. LakesideRodeo.com is where you buy the tickets. And then coming up at 1:30, very special guest, San Diego legend at 22 years old, JuJu Ballo, going to be joining the show for the first time. Sammy and I have been tracking him down for a while, but he's fighting coming up on April 18th at the Front Wave Arena in Oceanside, and JuJu is going to be joining the show. Can't wait to chat with them. Get inside the mind as one of the fastest rising superstars in the world of boxing, a San Diego native, putting on a fight here in his hometown. Can't wait for that coming up at 1:30. But Sammy, are you ready to have a great show?
I am. We got a lot to get to today.
Hard to know where to start on a day like today.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, obviously Padres national championship game. I mean, there's a lot going on in the world of sports, which is always fun. But yeah, I mean, where should we start? National championship or Padres?
I do think we start with Padres because I think that's something we've been asking for happened this weekend, right? And you could get over your skis about the way they started the season, just like you can get over your skis about the way they played this weekend. But I really liked what I saw out of the San Diego Padres. So we knew Mason Miller was dominant, and he was dominant once again yesterday. We knew that there was going to be holes in this starting rotation, and that has absolutely come to fruition over the first couple of weeks. What we thought we knew was that the Padres had a lineup that was ready to compete for a World Series. 1 through 9, you felt pretty good about the bats. Now, we didn't have much evidence coming off of last season that we should feel pretty good about the bats, but coming into this year, you kind of could think that last year was a speed bump and the runners in scoring position issues wouldn't plague them again this year. That Manny Machado and Fernando Tatis Jr. and Xander Bogaerts even would have a little more pop in their bats coming into this season. And for the first week of the season, for the first 6 games of the season, none of that was happening. And so you got a little nervous. But I think over the weekend, something just happened. And maybe this gets them off onto the right track. We'll see when they're playing against the Pirates. But on Saturday, it was Fernando Tatis Jr. and Ramon Laureano, their bats, that won them the baseball game. And on Sunday, it was Manny Machado and Jackson Merrill, their bats, that won them the baseball game on Sunday. So that's back-to-back games where the Padres had to come from behind. That's back-to-back games where in clutch situations, their highest paid players and their names that you expect the most out of stepped up and got stuff done to win them baseball games. So I do think that there is a little bit of encouragement that you could take out of those last two games in Boston. Now, where I'd pump the brakes is there is a chance that Boston just sucks this year. And maybe they're just having a really rough start. I think Boston we thought of before the season as a potential playoff team. But what are they up to? Like 2 wins on their entire year?
They've been
so
awful.
Far?
I mean, people thought that they were going to – I thought they were going to be a massive sleeper team. I mean, from Roman Anthony, the pitching staff, getting Ranger Suarez, still having Garrett Crochet. But it was nice to see the Padres, the bats, finally win them a game because –
on Saturday, it was off of Aroldis Chapman.
Right, and again, Tatis and Laureano came through. Those are the two guys you were looking at. And then yesterday, Merrill and Machado taking the headlines, and in a game where you were down big. I mean, being down 4-0, Red Sox, they're at home looking to win a series. So yeah, just like couldn't get too low after last week, can't get too high after Saturday and Sunday. But I'm excited about these next few days with the Pirates because it's kind of inverse. We all thought the Red Sox were going to be a good team and the Pirates were going to be whatever. But now you're going to face Bubba Chandler today. Massive pitching advantage to the Pittsburgh Pirates against German Marquez. Marquez, we know, did not look very good last Wednesday for the Pods. And then he got Skeens. So just like the first week, they were able to avoid Crochet over the weekend, their ace. It was nice seeing him. The first pitcher they really got to that was good this season was Ranger Suarez. So I give the Pods a lot of credit in that regard. But now you're taking on, I mean, you're saying Bubba Chandler is one of the hottest young pitching prospects in the entire league, and then Skeens. What I don't want to hear on Wednesday, and this is they have a real opportunity, and hopefully they take the momentum from Boston into this because the bats did come alive against good pitching. You mentioned Chapman and Suarez, but we heard after the first weekend against the Tigers, well, it was Skubal and Valdez and Flaherty, so people were making excuses why they didn't hit. You have a real opportunity over the next few days because there are question marks with the Pirates bats, even though they have been better so far this year. I don't want to hear that Chandler's really good or Skeens is one of the best pitchers in baseball. I want to see them get after them. And then if you make a statement in this series, I think you kind of put the first week behind you in a sense and go, okay, this is the Padres baseball we all thought we were going to see. But again, it's one thing to do it against Boston. Great that you go on the road and get a win. The bats come alive. But it would be a real shame if over the next 2 days, the bats go quiet again because they're facing higher tier pitching competition.
Well, if you just take yesterday by itself, Xander, Manny, Jackson, and Fernando, I believe this is right, went 9 for 12 yesterday and had a bunch of RBIs yesterday. So that's like the 4 who you come into the year saying these are the 4 you're going to bank on. Well, they did it yesterday. I think they went 9 for 12. I'm pretty sure I have that number right. So if they can repeat that against Paul Skeens, you feel pretty damn good about this team. But the Pirates are a different animal, man. The Pirates, they lost their first 2 and then they haven't lost since. So this is a team that's hot. You got some of their best pitchers going over the next 3 days. I'm fine overreacting to just about everything at this point in the season. I prefer it to the alternative of saying, well, it's early. I hate that.
Yeah, I hate that so much when we're talking baseball.
So as we go, let's just keep overreacting to every single game. And I think that's a more fun way to live. I said last year that I wasn't going to ride the roller coaster. I'm going back on that. I'm riding the roller coaster this year. We're going to go up. We're going to go down. We're going to go all the way around with the Padres.
And to this end, the Diamondbacks and Giants got better. I think the Diamondbacks are a tier above the Giants. I do think that the Padres are better than the Giants as well, even though the Giants came in and won the series. I think as the season progresses, I do think they'll be better than the Giants. But to be reacting to every game, I mean, these games really do matter because it's not like it felt like for a couple years where it was the Dodgers better than everybody, the Padres trying to catch them, and then the Giants being down, the Diamondbacks being down, then the Rockies are the Rockies.
What's the one thing that stays the same?
The Rockies
the one thing that
it.
stays consistent. All right, we'll continue to talk Padres. If you want to text us about the Padres, you can. 70470. Start your message with team. YouTube is open as well at San Diego Sports 760. We still got lots of people on YouTube talking about Sammy correctly calling the Deontay Wilder fight.
Thank you, Sir
Will.
Will.
About the final 4 picks, but you correctly called.
We don't need to talk about the final 4 picks. Sir Will, thank you. I knew the fight would go the distance. Wilder Chisora, very fun scrap in the UK.
We'll get into the final 4. Man, I was disappointed.
It was not a fun Final
I'll
Four.
start there, and then I got hopes for the national championship, but man, that Final Four really disappointed me, and most of it is Arizona's fault. All right, let's get to the big three here of hour number one. Oh, and by the way, I did win Sammy's bracket. That is locked and in the books now.
That's such BS.
How about that? How about that?
I got second because we both picked Michigan.
How much money did I win, Sammy?
I don't want to say a number. I think it's like 260.
I'll take it.
I think I got to figure it out, but yeah, it was like
1.5 tanks of gas. I'll take it.
Yeah. California, hell yeah.
All right, it's San Diego Sports 760. Sammy, let's get to the big three here of hour number one, where Sammy rips through the top stories in the world of sports. Sammy, smash.
Your lunch break is here. Ready to go back to the office and knock the socks off your friends? I mean, coworkers? It's time for the top stories of the day. The big three.
Just a little dab of hope out there for all of you. Even if your bracket sucks after the first couple of days, if you call the one team that you shouldn't have called to be in the Final Four and they make it to the Final Four, you can still win. Thank you, Illinois.
Yeah, with NIL now just doing what it's doing to college basketball, I'm just picking chalk. I'm done. I've always ripped people for picking chalk. Now
Last year, you might have had a perfect bracket if you did mostly chalk.
Yeah.
This year was a little different, but still finishing off with a 1 and a 2 seed later tonight. All right, Sammy, where do we want to go?
We're going to go to some depressing news.
The Lakers?
Are we laughing at injuries, Fletch?
No, but it is just kind of crazy. The way the Lakers season has gone, and I'll just take this, Sammy. So if you didn't see it, Austin Reeves is now also out for the season. Luka Doncic, I think, is going back to Europe to get some sort of treatment. But the way the Lakers season has gone, you had unanimous voice from Lakers fans saying it's not this year, it's next year. We're probably still not going to be good enough this year. We might make the playoffs, but it's not going to be this year. This is about building for the post-LeBron era. And I think most Lakers fans felt pretty good. And then sometime around March 10th, March 11th, Lakers fans started to get hope that this year could actually be a year where you're competing for a championship. I don't think anyone
thought that.
I know a lot of Lakers fans, Sammy, who actually had hope when they went on about a month of basketball.
15-2.
Where they were dominant, 15-2. And so all of a sudden, Lakers fans are like, maybe they could take down OKC. And then one night, one game, and it was against the Oklahoma City Thunder, Luka rips his hamstring in half. Austin Reeves hurts his back. And I've never seen a fan base go from maybe championship to sell the team faster than the Los Angeles Lakers
they already sold
did.
the team. Stop. What are you talking about?
It was from 0 to 100 back to 0.
Who are you
so
talking
fast.
to? Who are these so-called Laker fans that want to sell the team?
Not sell the team, but you know what I mean. Sky is falling.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've never seen a team season end in one night. I mean, I would never sat there and thought they'd be in Oklahoma City. I think that when they were fully healthy, could have been the third best team in the Western Conference, and they proved that over the course of the season. Sweeping Minnesota, winning the season series against the Nuggets and against the Houston Rockets. But there was a cap. And Oklahoma City whooped up on them before Luka got hurt and Reeves got hurt early in the game, but they kept him in. The real question here, though, is because Luka, if people haven't seen it, is going to Europe. Apparently there is a medical team that they believe can actually get him back from his hamstring injury faster. It's supposed to be 2 to 4 weeks. The postseason starts next week with the play-in tournament. Lakers will be playing in the postseason in 2 weeks.
Or he's not going to get trouble for smoking hookah if he's out in Europe.
I just think, I wouldn't bring him back.
No.
As a fan of
the season's over.
As a fan of the Lakers, I would love, I'm bummed out. I'm super bummed out that this season's going to end this way. I thought it would end in the second round of the Spurs, but I certainly think they could have won a playoff series and they could have given the Spurs a headache. But to bring Luka back, he's the face of the franchise going forward. The last thing you want to do is bring a guy back who's had a history of dealing with hamstring injuries. Because if Reeves isn't going to be there, it would be one thing if the Lakers were the favorites in the Western Conference and these guys were going to come back and you're going to push them back a little bit. But considering they are behind Oklahoma City, they're behind San Antonio, to bring him back with Reeves likely not coming back unless they made it to the NBA Finals, which is not going to happen, I would just put him on ice and get him ready for next season.
Watch LeBron just totally cook whoever they're playing in the first round and give Lakers fans hope again. That'd be great.
If LeBron did that, there'd be some real legacy talk. Because I'm a Jordan guy, but if he wins with this roster or what?
Yeah, but what's he actually going to win? Like, what's the realistic best case scenario for the Lakers?
I think they get swept in the first round.
Yeah, probably. All right, what's next?
All right, the NCAA tournament is expected per Yahoo Sports to expand to 76 teams from 68 to 76. Do we like this for college basketball?
Have you seen what's happened this year? My answer is no. I don't like this for college basketball. Even how the field is set right now. What High Point was the best storyline we got this year as a 12 seed, and no one really thought they were going to make it past where they got. So I think it's a mistake because the gap is widening in college basketball. I don't love where it's going, by the way. See the Sweet 16, Elite 8, and Final Four for all the examples you could possibly need. How many great games, seriously great games, can you point out from the Sweet 16, Elite 8, and Final Four do we get?
They've been pretty bad.
I got one great game from the Sweet 16 on this year.
Are you talking about UConn Duke?
And it was UConn
Because
Duke?
I don't even know if that was a great game. It was a great final 5 minutes of the game.
Right, but it was like it's a very Marchy classic game. We haven't had very much March in this year's March Madness. Like, we had a moment, and it was Braylon Mullins pulling up on a play that never should have happened in the first place. I guess the Nebraska game, having the 4 guys on the court, but again, that's just bad. It's bad basketball. I don't think this needs to be expanded. I do think tweaks need to happen, and I think they'll figure themselves out naturally moving forward. I think that the gap will tighten again, but right now the gap is too wide to even consider adding another team. In fact, I would take away the first 4 games as of right now.
I don't like this at all. I mean, we talk about baseball needing to shorten their schedule. Talk about to make it more impact of each individual game. Talk about the NBA needing to play fewer games, the NHL. The big knock on the college basketball regular season is people don't care until March because so many teams are going to make it. There's very few teams on the bubble. Now, San Diego State the last couple of years has kind of lived on the bubble. So we in San Diego as fans of the Aztecs have been living and dying on every game. But how does college basketball draw more ratings in November, in December, in January? It would honestly be to reduce the field. Adding 8 teams makes no sense. The field is already huge. Obviously, I'm going to be watching the tournament. The tournament is a special thing every year, but you've talked about the disparity in NIL money. You're seeing more chalk than ever the last couple seasons. And then what? So you're just going to expand so the teams on the bubble have a shot of maybe beating one of these teams? I don't like it. I think college football needs to expand and has expanded, and I think it's really helped the sport. College basketball, I don't understand that. I just think you're making the college basketball season more irrelevant for the casual fan. And yeah, I mean, around March, it'll be fun to have a few more games and a few more teams in there. I'm going to be watching, but it's trying to draw viewers in as the season goes on. I think this actually does the opposite of that and takes it away because so many power schools are going to be getting in the tournament. Honestly, you got to be pretty bad to not be getting in the tournament.
It is frustrating to me. This year's March Madness specifically. Like, I still had a lot of fun the first Thursday through Sunday.
The first weekend was great, and then it kind of has gone downhill.
It's fallen off a little bit, which is unfortunate. I do think tonight's going to be a good game, but hell, I thought 2 days ago between Michigan and Arizona was going to be a great game.
This is the one night that I would love to see a blowout, Michigan blowing out UConn.
I would like to see Dan Hurley go to the locker room with his tail tucked between his legs. I don't know if that's going to happen, but we will see. All right, San Diego Sports 760. Coming up next, why is April 6th an important day in the world of football? You wouldn't think it is, but it actually is. We'll tell you why on the other side. It's San Diego Sports 760. You're listening live on the iHeartRadio app. San Diego Sports 760. We got coverage tonight of the NCAA championship game between UConn and Michigan. Pregame coverage will begin at 3:00 right after Going Long with Sammy. You're leading us right up to the tip-off, Sammy.
Hey, that's me.
That is you. So 3:00 today. Does Schaefer have the day off and Sliwa?
Yeah, they're done today.
Wow. Must be nice, boys. What are you doing with your free time?
Yeah, hanging out with family and
Swear
things
to
of that
God,
sort.
if I see a picture of John Schaefer at a golf course eating a fake hot dog, I'm going to be pissed.
Does John play golf?
I don't know. I would like to see that happen, though.
I think, yeah.
Chugging some booches on the course, eating some Impossible dogs with Schaefer. What a day. Well-deserved day off, boys. It's been a hard week of work since you started a new show, I guess. But Schaefer
Some of us are here working.
It's for a good reason. 3:00 today, NCAA championship game coverage will begin right here on San Diego Sports 760. So don't worry about going anywhere. We got you covered right here. All right. I made the tease. Why is April 6th an important day in football? Well, I mean, it's really not, but spring practices, spring games are coming in college football. Boys are starting to take the field.
Every day is important when it comes to football.
You're damn right it is, Sammy Long. But I know the Aztecs are getting ready for their spring game coming up on May 2nd. We got some big plans for that here at the station. And football is happening now all across the country. You're starting to see workouts beginning. Social media is aflutter. And one big NFL superstar is actually reporting to their team's training, their offseason program.
Lamar Action Jackson
is back on the field with the Baltimore Ravens. They got a new head coach, and QB1 is setting the tone. He's showing up to practice early. I think it was a disappointing season for everybody involved in the Ravens organization. And with the change of leadership, I actually kind of love this out of Lamar Jackson.
I was on the drive-in. I was thinking about this. I knew we were going to talk about this today. We all know Josh Allen, until he actually wins something, will have the most pressure of any quarterback in the NFL. But take him out of the equation. Lamar or Herbert would be next.
Lamar. It's not even close to me. It's Lamar. Has Justin Herbert won a single MVP?
No.
Has he really been in that conversation come week 15, 16, 17 of a season?
I agree with you.
Like, it is Lamar Jackson, and not just because I think Lamar Jackson, they may be equal, by the way, in my quarterback rankings, Lamar Jackson and Justin Herbert. But Lamar Jackson has been on teams that had legitimate shots to win a Super Bowl. I don't know that Justin Herbert's ever been on one.
The problem, though, with the Herbert conversation is he has looked terrible at times in playoff games.
So has Lamar Jackson. He's gotten further than Justin Herbert has.
He has.
But
he has
he's
a couple
also
playoff
looked
wins.
Awful in playoff games before.
He was his worst one was against the Chiefs in the AFC title game. But it's like the amount of pressure that these quarterbacks are facing. And Lamar is interesting because Allen, they go with the understudy. They go with, they kind of just promote from within, fire McDermott. I still think the Bills' biggest problem is the fact that they still have Brandon Beane up there, who has shown zero ability to draft and develop talent. And then Lamar, the Ravens will have one of the best rosters in the league. And I think you could have made a case had the Max Crosby trade still come down. He might be tied with Josh Allen for pressure. But the fact that got pulled, that was kind of their offseason plans.
Yeah, they still got Trey Hendrickson.
And they kept their draft picks. So we're getting to a point with these AFC quarterbacks that, I mean, they have to win. Like, you have to win the postseason because it has been how many years of Allen, how many years of Lamar. Burrow is always kind of forgiven, I think, because he did make the Super Bowl. He beat the Chiefs, and his upper tier management has been so bad at putting a defense on the field. But Lamar showing up, I'm curious.
I love this. So he didn't show up to a single one of these last year. And maybe that's telling about his relationship with John Harbaugh. And maybe he's hoping to start this off on the right foot with Jesse Minter. But you remember, John Harbaugh, the way he would talk about Lamar Jackson, you'd say, yeah, this is the greatest football player that's ever stepped foot on this earth. My sole goal in life is to get Lamar Jackson a Super Bowl. Those are words that actually left John Harbaugh's mouth. But this is a new situation now. So Lamar Jackson is the elder statesman on the team. Like Sammy and I like to say, we're the elder statesmen of San Diego Sports 760.
Hell yeah, we are.
We need to set the path and show the ropes for John Schaefer and Alan Sliwa, as ridiculous as that might sound. But Lamar Jackson is kind of that dude now. This is time where he takes his career, and if he wants to be one of the all-time greats, he needs to almost step into more of a player/coach type of role.
And it's interesting with all these guys because you've had this influx of young QBs. Now, Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams are in the NFC, But you got Bo Nix in the AFC, Drake May in the AFC. Now Mendoza's coming to the AFC. Next year is going to be a bunch of top-tier quarterbacks. This whole big four that we've seen with Mahomes at the top, and then Allen, Burrow, and Lamar, where you can argue the rest of those. And I'm throwing Herbert in there as well, because this whole crop of quarterbacks that we thought were the next thing, and they have been in terms of winning MVPs, winning a lot of regular season games, but the first guy to break through will completely elevate their status. But while the other guys it feels like we're saying the same thing year in and year out.
I'm looking forward to it, man. I think we're like 190 something days away.
Draft's in 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Real
Cannot
close
wait
to the draft, which is a great time of year in the NFL. All right, coming up next, we will talk about tonight's national championship game and look back at the Final Four that was. We'll also read your texts about the Padres. If you want to get those in, 70470, start your message with team or comment on YouTube at San Diego Sports 760. Give us a subscribe while you're there. It is San Diego Sports 760, and if you're not listening on the free iHeartRadio app, what are we doing? Add us to your presets. Leave us talkbacks. We'd love to hear from you there as well. San Diego Sports 760, live on the iHeartRadio app.
Sports sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Padres had a solid weekend, winning the last 2 games against the Red Sox in Boston. They're back on the road tonight, or at 3:40 today, taking on the Pirates. Pirates bring in Bubba Chandler, one of the top young pitchers in the game, against German Marquez, with a rough outing last week for the Pods. Pods are slight underdogs on the money line. Then after my show at 3:00, we got tournament coverage of the national championship tonight. Michigan, UConn. Michigan open is 7.5 point favorites, been bet down to 6.5. Late money coming in.
Michigan.
What?
Hammer Michigan.
The late money coming in on UConn, bringing down to 6.5. Point total set at 145.5. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call the 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
All right, San Diego Sports 760, Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2, and then Sammy's going to take you right up to pregame coverage of the NCAA tournament starting at 3:00. Real quick before we get to that game, Steph Curry made his return over the weekend. All he did was drop 29 points. He was like 5 of 10 from the 3-point line. He put a very Steph Curry
game
numbers.
was fantastic last night. Şengün with the game winner.
Wild game between the Warriors and the Rockets. They actually have video inside of Chase Arena where cups and the water and beer that was in the cups inside Chase Arena, you could see the water moving and shaking because the crowd was so loud when Steph was doing very Steph Curry things. So they lose the game 117 to 116. But it does lead to that conversation that always is kind of rattling around in the background was Steph Curry good or bad for the game of basketball? And I do think like Steph Curry is such a unicorn in sports history, but maybe the one person who has changed their sport more than anybody in the history of the sport, including Michael Jordan, by the way, has been Steph Curry, because basketball will never be the same because of what Steph Curry has done.
So we were just talking about this at the break. MJ's 1, Curry 2 in terms of changing the game.
I don't know if that's true. It's like Michael Jordan perfected what basketball was.
Michael brought the NBA. Bird and Magic brought the NBA to stardom. Magic was a Michael Jackson-like icon. Steph Curry is on that level, but Michael Jordan made dunking cool. Everyone with the shoes trying to be like Mike. Like,
but you didn't literally change the strategy of how you coach basketball at the elementary level. Steph Curry has.
I can't say Curry's bad for basketball because Curry has owned a generation. Him, LeBron, and Kevin Durant, that whole era of basketball has been very fun to watch as a fan over the years. I think to that end, Curry has been detrimental to the growth of young basketball players because, I mean, go to a high school game. It used to be about people idolize Shaq and people idolize Yao Ming, guys like this who could dominate in the post. Dr. J back in the day, where it was all about your moves, getting to the basket, dunking. Now, because people look at Steph Curry and go, wait, I'm not as tall as Shaq. Shaq's a freak of nature.
Right. Steph Curry's 6'2".
Right. So I can be that. I can be Steph Curry. I can jack it up from the logo. So it's changed the way that basketball has been played. And now, I mean, you've kind of seen the extinction of traditional centers in the NBA. To be successful in the NBA, you have to have a hybrid center who can rebound, but can also step out and hit some threes, a la Brook Lopez, Joel Embiid, stuff like that. Zach Edey's been solid for Memphis, but Zach Edey 30 years ago would have been a dominant NBA center. In today's world, Zach Edey, because of his lack of shooting ability, cannot be a dominant center because you're just having point guards like Steph Curry switch bigs onto you and they're going to destroy you. But it was cool seeing Curry back. I'm kind of surprised the Warriors brought him back because of his injury history, but it'll be fun if they do get through the play-in tournament and they play Oklahoma City, even though they'll get slaughtered. It'll be fun seeing Steph versus Shea.
I was surprised until I saw the reaction he got from Chase Arena. I don't know if there's a fan base in the country in any sport that loves their star more than the Warriors fan base loves Steph Curry. Like the amount of respect and crowd noise he generates just by warming up before a game is something you just don't see.
And I don't think people who live through, like all of us, but like young kids now, who live through the height of the Splash Bros.
Yeah.
People, I don't think will get how big that kind of
massive,
like how big that time in the sports period was.
My grandpa started watching basketball. He's never cared about basketball outside of like me and my brother playing, but he was locked in on every Warriors. Right, I mean, game it was just different.
Unbelievable. Klay Thompson's the top 5 3-point shooter of all time, but he's playing with Steph Curry, so he was deferential to him. It was cool seeing Curry back, but I wonder if it was the smartest thing for the Warriors organization.
Probably not, especially if he goes out and rips something over the next couple of days. All right, a couple of these texts before we get to the national championship game. 913 says, Fletch, we need Farrell Merrill to take Livy Dunn from Paul Skeens and get her an SD area permanently. Livy Merrill has a better ring to it. I'm pretty sure Jackson Merrill has a girlfriend.
Isn't he engaged or something?
Yeah, Sammy something. Not Sammy Long, but
definitely not Sammy Long.
Girlfriend's name is Sammy. I can't remember her last name. But seems very happy.
I love how you know her name.
Adorable together. 858, with the lack of top-end quarterback talent in this year's draft, do you think Arch Manning would have been a top 5 pick had he declared?
100%.
So, interestingly enough, like my answer would have changed throughout the course of last season.
Oh, definitely.
At the beginning of last season, I would say he's without a doubt the number 1 overall pick coming into this year. Did Arch Manning really do anything that spectacular last season in college football?
Down the stretch, they would have. I've heard some NFL draft scouts.
I still think he projects out as a great NFL player one day, maybe. But as of what we saw on film last year, did anything actually make you think, oh my God, Arch Manning needs to be the number 1 overall pick?
He ended the season against Michigan. I believe it was the Cheez-It Bowl, something like that. But they were playing their guys.
Cheez-It Bowl.
He lit it up.
Cheez-Its right now.
He had like 6 touchdowns. But that's the funny thing about this quarterback class is we've universally praised Mendoza. And you talk about winning. Mendoza won the Heisman, took the losingest program in college football history in Indiana, and won a national championship game in Miami's home stadium against Miami. So Mendoza deserves all the credit. But when you're looking at a potential NFL caliber quarterback, there's a reason why Arch Manning has had all the hype he had and still has it, because he has the tools, the quickness, the escapability to become a big time quarterback. Whereas Mendoza on paper, outside of the winning, doesn't really blow you away from a prospect perspective. He doesn't have a huge arm. He's not super mobile.
He does have the intangibles though, which NFL scouts put super, super high. I was listening to Daniel Jeremiah and Bucky Brooks talk about Mendoza, and they're like, the one thing that NFL teams love about him and why most teams, if they were quarterback needy and had the number 1 overall pick, would have no hesitation to take Fernando Mendoza, is because of the leadership skills and the way he is on the whiteboard when it comes to football. They say he has all that stuff figured out, which is the hardest thing for quarterbacks to learn when they come into the NFL. And he's already got that in the arsenal. Like Jackson Dart had none of that.
He's had raw talent.
Jackson Dart is super athletic and is willing to run through a brick wall for his teammates, which is great stuff. But on the whiteboard, Jackson Dart was terrible.
But you could also make an argument that NFL teams are looking at, especially with good head coaches, I'll take the guy that's got the raw talent, a la Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, who were not polished whatsoever. Lamar Jackson coming out of college. I'll take that, and then I can coach them versus the guy who has all that in college, but you can't teach speed. You can't teach arm strength. That's not even taking a shot at Fernando Mendoza. I think he'll be a good player. But to Dave 58's question, I think Arch Manning, I think there would have been a conversation about Dante Moore versus Fernando Mendoza. If Mendoza was out a different year, I don't think he'd be the number 1 pick.
All right, we got coverage of the NCAA championship tonight. It's Michigan and it's UConn. UConn going for their 3rd national championship in the last 4 seasons. That's crazy. Michigan looking to continue this run of dominance. Now, the interesting thing here has been where the line has opened up and where the line has moved to. So it opened up at 7.5, favoring Michigan, which feels right to me. I've watched every game Michigan's played in this NCAA
the doors
tournament.
Off every team.
Yeah, no one's even holding close to them. They are too talented. They're too deep, and their guards have been playing excellent basketball throughout the NCAA tournament, where that's how you beat Michigan, is if their guards have an off night, because you're not beating their front court. It's just too good. They're too talented. They're too big. But tonight, 6.5 points is what it's come down to. So now Michigan's favored by 6.5 against UConn. This is the public betting the team of destiny. This is the public saying UConn is the Duke killer of this year. This is the public saying that Dan Hurley, while a psychopath, is the best coach in college basketball, which he very well might be. The way I see this game is Michigan completely overmatches and overwhelms UConn. I really think that they're too big, they're too strong, they're too good at rebounding. And if Michigan's guards play just okay, I thought they had to be great against Arizona. They were. If they're just okay tonight, they are more talented than UConn. They should be a Michigan 10 to 15 point win, which I hate for the wanting a good game. I just think that's what's going to happen.
Send us talkbacks, Little Red Microphone on the iHeart app. I'm curious, San Diego, how badly are you locked into this game tonight? I hate watching UConn, because as someone who is not a fan of UConn, obviously beat San Diego State a few years ago in the championship game. I don't think Dan Hurley's likable unless you're a UConn fan, and they're going for a dynasty. But to that end, the only weakness you can look at Michigan and say is Godot, the point guard, they don't have a lot of point guard depth. And that was what you thought heading into the game. I picked Arizona. I thought Arizona was going to win the game because I thought the Arizona guards with Burries in them could kind of get Godot in foul trouble and get after them. The only way UConn wins this game tonight is Solo Ball, Reed Jr., and these guys have career nights. I mean, you're talking about the guards are raining it in from 3. Michigan averages almost 11 and 12 more points per game through the entire season than they do. They average about 88. UConn only about 77. You know, I know Hurley's playing the underdog role, but outside of them looking tight in this game, I really don't see a path to victory for UConn. But then again, you come off biggest win of the season. You destroy Arizona. This UConn team, we've kind of have doubted all tournament. Even when the bracket came out, it was all about Duke. It was about Michigan State, Kansas, St. John's on that side of the bracket. No one really talked about UConn. All this team does is prove people wrong, but this is going to be Dan Hurley's toughest test if he's going to win a championship tonight.
I just don't really see a way where UConn, I'm going to back myself into a corner here, but I don't see a way where UConn can overcome what Michigan's going to do. Michigan's going to score 85 plus tonight. I'm very confident in saying that. And I don't know that UConn can get to that number. Like if this game's played in the 70s, UConn might have the advantage. I don't see Michigan being held in the 70s. I really don't. All right, it's San Diego Sports 760. I'm assuming Michigan. Is that game going to be on long shots tonight?
Does a bear crap in the woods?
So we will have Sammy's official pick. I don't know. Yes, on the bear. Does the Pope though? That's the biggest question.
What?
You've never heard that?
No.
Does the Pope? Whatever. So that game will be coming up on long shots, which is coming up next year on San Diego Sports 760. Now we do have some very fun tickets for you today. Tickets to the Lakeside Rodeo, baby. I'll be out there pouring beer on one of the nights. I know that. But if you want a pair of tickets for April 26th, it's the 62nd annual Lakeside Rodeo, bull riding, steer wrestling, kids, stick, horse races, and more. Get tickets at lakesiderodeo.com. We will have those tickets coming up before the clock ticks over to 1 o'clock. So don't go anywhere. It's San Diego Sports 760. You're listening live on my iHeartRadio app. Man, we are just 3 days away from calling out of work sick. Not me and Sammy, but you might do this.
There's a certain, what's Wednesday, the largest?
Oh, it's the second biggest vasectomy day of the year.
Yeah.
Outside of the Wednesday before March Madness.
Get snipped, Kinks.
Get snipped, Kings. Put that on a t-shirt. But yeah, it is time for us to break out the early morning day drinking. It's time for us to watch as fake bird noises get pumped into the beautiful grounds of a not beautiful city in Augusta, Georgia. But Augusta National.
They pump in fake noise?
Yeah, they had to pump in fake birds. That's why, like, you get the chirping behind Jim Nantz all the time. It's the soundtrack of Augusta. It's all fake. None of it's real. But they have to do it to overcome the noise of the roads that you'll hear in Augusta, Georgia. This is all a facade. It's Disneyland, baby. It is smoke and mirrors through the roof, but it is one of, if not the most beautiful golf course in the entire world. But look at the surrounding area in Augusta, Georgia, because it's just the golf course and everything else looks kind of crappy. But they pump in the noise. Jim Nantz sets the tone, and it is 4 of my favorite sports watching days of the year, the Masters tournament, which is coming up. And coming up at 1:45 today, I'm going to give you a couple of little betting advices for the Masters tournament. You want to get those in today before all the lines start changing and your odds get worse. So I'll give you not only a 4-leg parlay for Thursday, but also my Masters winner coming up at 1:45 today.
Wow.
Before we do any of that, it's time for Sammy to make us all some money. So we got close over the weekend. If you followed me, you got really close because I had Michigan winning as well as Sammy's other picks. But I don't think the Illinois-UConn game helped us out either.
Listen, Final Four was not kind to us.
No.
Wilder Chisora, my boxing pick was going to come in.
By the way, we got great boxing coming up this weekend. I didn't know Tyson Fury was back.
We got the Gypsy King is back. Lokome with Prograis and Conor Benn. Then we got a UFC fight night as well. So with Yuri Prohaska on Saturday night. So yeah, we got some good. We got some good fight picks for everybody on Friday night.
Can't wait for it. But right now, it's about what's going to happen on Monday night, and this is where we go in to a deep, dark little corner of this universe known as Sammy's Long Shots.
You looking for some luck? Want to win big? Gotta play big.
You are so money, you don't even know it.
Time to take a chance
Pay that man his money.
with Long Shots.
YouTube is complimenting your music rejoin.
Jay Silves.
I know I'm blanking on the name of the actual song.
Gin and Juice by Snoop Dogg.
But isn't it? It's in one of the Grand Theft Auto games, isn't it?
I believe so, yeah.
I'm almost positive.
One of the great videos of all time when he's up in his apartment. Oh,
Grand
great.
Theft Auto 3. Someone correct me on that. I'm pretty
I love
sure.
how that's how you know Gin and Juice by
No, I
Snoop.
know the song, but I'm almost positive it's one of the Grand Theft Auto's like main theme. All right, Sammy, where are we going for long shots?
Okay, so we have a little special thing today, all right?
Oh, wait, you know the Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer is officially 2 years old?
Yeah, they never dropped the game. It's getting dumb at this point. It's
The
like
trailer is 2 years old.
when Playboy Cardi says he's going to announce an album. Never drops.
I don't really know who that is, but where are we
okay.
going with long shots?
It's okay. Yeah, that was for people under 30 who got that reference. Okay, all right. So we have...
Is that a man or a woman?
It's a man. It's
Okay.
a man. It's a man. We have a 4-leg parlay, but guess this. So this is really going to be a 3-leg parlay. I'm going to give you the parlay first, and then I'm going to give you the championship game pick because here's what I do personally. I'm going to have a 3-leg parlay for everybody to get you some action on the side on some other sports, and then we're going to double up our units on a single bet on the championship game. Okay, so we're going to get a couple different bets tonight. We're going to start with the 3-leg parlay, finish out with the natty. All right, let's head to baseball. Now, World Series rematch today. Dodgers in Toronto taking on the Blue Jays. Now, Blue Jays actually going with their Game 7 starter. Max Scherzer, Justin Robleski will be going against the Dodgers, or going for the Dodgers. Toronto's going to win this game outright. Toronto has had this game circled. Look, I know Max Scherzer has been he's not quite the same guy. Robleski is trying to give the Dodgers some length. He obviously had the Game 7 moment where he kind of rushed one of the batters and blanking on his name. But Jimenez and him had the Game 7 moment. The Toronto's been sitting on this game. Dodgers bats came alive over the weekend against the Nationals. 6-1 comeback yesterday. Down 5 runs, come back. But they used a lot of their guys over the weekend. And again, that's the Nationals. Blue Jays have been sitting on this game. I think they win this one, especially there's a reason the Dodgers throwing Robleski out there. Very talented pitcher, but on the road in Toronto could get shelled a little bit. So Toronto, I think the plus money there gives you some value. Dodgers coming off a big 3-game road trip against the Nationals, getting into Toronto late today. All right, Let's head to the NBA. A couple fun games in the association. 1 week out from the start of the playoffs, which is very fun, very exciting time of year. Let's head Pistons Magic. Detroit is currently a 1.5 point road favorite. Give me the Magic. Give me the Magic plus 1.5. They need this game so much more than Detroit does. Detroit plays excellent defensive basketball. I mean, one of the best in the league. Only gave up about 109 points per game. There hasn't even really been that much of a drop-off, even after Cade Cunningham and Isaiah Stewart has been sidelined. But Orlando's sitting there in that 9th spot, and there has been a crazy shift in the Eastern Conference. Charlotte's in there, Philly's in there, Miami. They're all separated by a game or two. So this last week of the season really means a lot. Giving us a 1.5 at home. Give us Orlando's playing some good basketball recently. Paolo Banchero playing excellent. Jalen Suggs has really taken his game to the next level, subbing in for Anthony Black, who's a nice young player. Suggs averaging about 6 assists per game. I like them at home. I think they have enough scoring options to offset the defense for Detroit. Give us Orlando plus 1.5. Also extra motivation at home tonight. All right, and then we got the Knicks and the Hawks. Hawks 1.5 point favorites at home against this one. Now, historically, this has been a fun matchup because of Trae Young versus the New York Knicks, but obviously Trae Young is not there anymore. Atlanta's going to win this game, though. Give us Atlanta minus 1.5. The Knicks are kind of fooling some people because they beat up on the Bulls 136-96 the other night. They beat up on the Grizzlies 130-119. But every time the last few weeks, the Knicks have stepped up in competition, they've got blown out. Got blown out by the Rockets 111-94. Blown out by 11 by the Thunder. Blown out by the Hornets by 11. This team is not playing excellent basketball right now. They don't have another scoring option outside of Jalen Brunson. And the Atlanta Hawks, on the other end of things, have beaten the Boston Celtics, have beaten the Magic recently by 29. This is a team with Jalen Johnson. Nickeil Alexander-Walker has taken his game to another level. And then you got guys like Dyson Daniels, Onyeka Okongwu, who are really playing excellent defense, rounding out that starting lineup. Kispert coming off the bench is a sharpshooter. Versace, the former top pick, is coming off the bench. Shows you the depth of this Atlanta Hawks team. And I forgot Jonathan Kuminga as well. So give me the Hawks at home against the Knicks minus 1.5. All right, so that's our one parlay. In the championship pick tonight, we're hammering Michigan minus 6.5. Hammering this. I can't believe this is as close of a spread. UConn and Dan Hurley can push all the narratives they want about they love the underdog role. They got it. Here's the problem for UConn. Caravan's a name, and he's played in a lot of these big games, but they don't have Solo Ball and Terrence Reed Jr. are good players, but they're not excellent three-point shooters. The only way to beat this Michigan team is to rein in threes from the outside. I don't see UConn being able to do this. I do see them being able to hang close for a half, but let's just say from a gambling perspective, this is a close game. Let's say at the end of the game, this is a 3-point lead for Michigan. The fact that this is 6.5 points, people are betting the UConn's way, so the line has come down from 7.5 to 6.5. Michigan getting in the free throw line, going to be able to take advantage of this. Cadeau, Linda Borg sounds like he's ready to go. They kept him out precautionary after they were up on Arizona so bad on Saturday night. I think Michigan's winning its second national title, and I think they actually win this by 10 to 12 points. Screw Dan Hurley and UConn, minus 6.5 to Michigan. Put a couple units on that.
How about maybe even a little alternative line? Potentially minus 9.5. You can bump that up to get some better odds.
I think Michigan. I think this is close for a half. I think UConn on the first half spread's a decent bet, but I think Michigan ends up winning this game, taking it out in the second half. Hurley can only do so much. He can keep it close for a half with adjustments, but at the end of the day, Michigan's talent and front court depth is going to win out. Caravan's not big enough to hang with Mara and the bigs for Michigan.
By the way, if you watch the NCAA tournament this year, Michigan's done this in pretty much every game. The first half does stay close, and then Michigan pours it on. With the exception of Arizona, that game was over within 5 minutes. All right, it's San Diego Sports 760. Hour one in the books. Hour number two, JuJu Ballo is going to be joining us. One of the fastest rising superstars in boxing, and he's right here in our backyard. An East County kid, JuJu Ballo, going to be jumping on the show coming up at 1:30. Right now, your opportunity to win a pair of tickets to Lakeside Rodeo coming up on April 26th. It's the 62nd Lakeside Rodeo. You can get tickets now at lakesiderodeo.com, or you could win a pair of tickets right here. Just give Sammy a call at 877-767-4760. Your opportunity to head on out to the Lakeside Rodeo, baby. Call right now. Caller number what, Sammy?
Let's do caller number 8.
Caller number 8. You're going to the Lakeside Rodeo with a pair of tickets. It's San Diego Sports 760. You're listening live on the iHeartRadio app.
Sports sponsored by Positive Coaching Alliance, counting you down to tip off tonight in the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship. Hear that right here on San Diego Sports 760. Of course, UConn, Michigan. Michigan open is 7.5 point favorites in the game. UConn has bet that to plus 6.5. A lot of the late money coming in on UConn. Point total set at 145.5 tonight. Now at 3:40 today, Bubba Chandler and the Pirates taking on the Padres, who won their last 2 games over the Red Sox this weekend. German Marquez will be on the mound for the Pods. Again, that game gets going at 3:40. If you have questions about youth or high school sports, Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA builds better athletes and better people through sports. Info at positivecoach.org.
I'm Ben Fletcher. That's Sammy Long.
Well, we know that.
You're a smart guy.
A nice weekend in New England for the Padres.
Machado to deep left field. Back towards the monster and gone.
Taking 2 of 3. Now it's off to Pittsburgh. And we're down to 2 in the madness.
UConn will head to the national championship to play for their 3rd title in the last 4 years. The Michigan Wolverines are on their way to the national championship game.
The title game is tonight, right here starting at 3. Now let's get the week going from the San Diego Sports 760 studios in the zone with Fletch and Sammy.
It's hour number 2 here on San Diego Sports 760. Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2 o'clock. Sammy's going to take over then. He'll take you all the way till 3 o'clock with Going Long. And that's going to lead you right up to NCAA championship coverage right here on San Diego Sports 760. It's been a pleasure having the NCAA tournament on our airwaves once again. And the epic conclusion is coming up tonight. Michigan and UConn. You just heard Sammy's official pick. Not only is he going Michigan, but he'd be okay if this line was even minus 10.5 in favor of Michigan. But lucky you get it at 6.5. So that's kind of the feeling I share at the sentiment, by the way, that would be my pick for tonight as well. And we can continue talking about that game in a little bit. But coming up at 1:30 today, JuJu Ballo is going to be joining us here on the air.
Little boxing talk, baby.
Yeah, he's got a big fight coming up April 18th. Sammy and I will be in attendance. It's Ballo versus Reyes. First time fighting here in San Diego. That's going to be an absolute blast, or at least at the Oceanside Arena. JuJu Ballo, his stats speak for themselves. The dude's a 3-time national champion with USA Boxing. He is won all sorts of junior pro-ams. I can't wait to see this kid in action coming up on April 18th, but I'm excited to get to know him a little bit coming up in about 20 minutes. Who won those tickets for the Lakeside Rodeo, Sammy?
David. David's going to the rodeo.
David, what up, man? We'll see you there. Lakeside Rodeo is going to be a hell of a time. It's the 62nd this year, and Lakeside Rodeo is always the place to be in late April. 913 texting into the show saying, Fletch, I'm taking my son to the Mario birthday on his 11th birthday today, the Mario movie on his 11th birthday today. Have you seen the Mario movie yet? First of all, shout out to Nick. Happy birthday, Nick. I know you're driving around listening with Pops in the car.
Hell yeah.
Thank you for being here on a regular basis. Massive Aztec fan, little Nick. I got to meet him a couple of times. I've not seen the new Mario movie, although my nephew Noah, who is about to turn 11 years old, loved it. Said it was incredible.
Can I say that's fantastic, by the way, going to the Mario movie with, Nick.
Sure.
But my friend, I had to go to a movie. I was like, hey, that new movie, The Drama with Robert Pattinson and Zendaya. I was like, it looks good. Like, let's go check it out. He's like, yeah. Or we could go see a
movie you go with your bro to go see.
Huh?
I think that's more of like a date night movie.
Why does it have to be a date night movie?
I don't know.
You could be with the homies watching.
Isn't it a little steamy?
Okay. What you know?
So how was it?
No. This is the story I'm getting to. We didn't go. He responds with, "How about let's go to the Mario movie?" I said, "Buddy, we're not 8 years old. That's great." But like, that's a little odd. All of us just going to the Mario movie.
What?
On a Saturday night. I was like, no,
man,
we're going to go see.
And I went to see the first one in theaters. I'll absolutely go see this one. You don't get nostalgia? Did you grow? You probably didn't grow up playing that.
No,
N64.
I loved Mario, but I don't need to go see a movie about it.
I'm fine with it. It's Chris Pratt. It's Charlie Day. Childish Gambino's in
but
this one. Jack
that,
Black.
That movie's made for 18 and under.
No, it's also made for 30 and over. People who grew up playing Mario. That's who it's made for.
Who was the driving force to go see Mario? Was it Kendall or was it you?
It was me, 100%. and I'd do it again. In fact, we may go see it tonight just to spite Sammy, except the national
You're not watching the national championship game tonight?
No, we'll go tomorrow night, maybe. 858 says, as a diehard Aztec fan, I'm not watching the national championship tonight because I hate both sides with a vengeance. Michigan and their payroll is just too tough. Yeah, Sammy, you had the numbers on this, but do you want to pull it up? What was the NIL for these two teams here tonight?
So for Michigan, it's estimated around 10 million.
Yeah.
And UConn, it's 8 to 10. Which leads to a much bigger conversation.
It is. And it's, I'm sure if you took the entire Final Four, Illinois and Arizona both have excellent NIL as well. In fact, if you zoom out a little bit to the Sweet 16, I'd say 90% of the Sweet 16, well, we know what the lowest one was. Wasn't it Iowa? Had like $6.7 million in NIL or something?
Right. So, I mean, the lowest, they're 6.2. Duke had something like 12. You just wonder if these schools can compete anymore.
I've also heard Michigan's is more like 14. Just to throw that out there.
It's becoming so apparent. Now, it's a hard conversation because over the years, although we love Cinderellas and things like that, typically teams that do have NBA draft type talent are going to the championship. And we have seen teams massively underperform that is millions and millions of dollars. I mean, we saw Mark Pope in Kentucky, $22 million. DeBonsta, BYU, they spent $7 million alone on him. Darren Peterson went to Kansas for an ungodly number. So just because you spend a bunch of money does not mean you're going to win. But I think what we're seeing is, whereas in previous years, a guy might go, hey, I'm a 6-man on Michigan, but I could go to, I don't know, name a mid-tier school and go be the number 1 or number 2 option. But now with NIL and the amount of money that these guys are able to shell out and these schools are able to shell out, it's like, I'll stay and be a 6-man and just wait my turn because I might be making $1 million or $2 million simply coming off the bench as a talented player. Whereas that is what NIL has changed. So the depth of these rosters are so much better than some of the mid-major schools.
We had a 6 or 7 year window there where it was just the transfer portal in college basketball. NIL hadn't really started taking off yet. And you would see the opposite happen. So the 6-man at Duke would go and join like a Mountain West school, for example, or maybe not Mountain West. That's probably not the best example, but you know what I mean? And would go and join one of those teams. And that's how like the Malachi Flynn's of the world get born. They transfer into San Diego State, superstar with San Diego State, leads a team to eventually being what would have been either a 1 seed, the final 1 seed, or the top 2 seed in the NCAA tournament before COVID happened. That's how that happened back in those days. It was the transfer portal. Does Malachi Flynn ever make his way to San Diego State in the world of NIL? There's a very good argument to say no chance in hell.
That's a great point because, again, in college football, I think it's different. In college football, it's like, hey, I might want to go to the NFL. Well, I think everyone in college football wants to go to the NFL.
Text line, what the hell are we doing?
Text line's making me laugh.
Yeah, I think transfer portal was good for college basketball, bad for college football. NIL might be reversed.
Because instead of Ohio State having 4 5-star quarterbacks and 3 of them are sitting on the bench, they're like, I can go to Nebraska. I can go to Illinois and go try to be the star and try to go get in the playoff and beat one of these teams. Versus college basketball, I think it has actually just made the rich richer, which was not the intention of it, but it's actually really caused a divide between mid-major and major.
Text line is throwing out other movies that
can
Sammy...
Can we read that text?
I think so. 619 says, Sammy and all his buddies for sure went to Brokeback Mountain opening night in the theater.
You know what?
Sammy
I do.
He always says it. I ain't quitting you.
By the way, 619, no social problems here. Hell yeah. We'll be Brokeback Mountain opening night.
Clip that, CJ. Use it for the open tomorrow, please.
Yes,
I would
Brokeback Mountain opening.
I would love to hear that in tomorrow's open of the show. CJ's our big voice guy who does all the imaging.
CJ's the man. CJ keeps the station running.
Clip that. Post it everywhere.
Shout out to Brokeback Mountain.
Maybe we need to get that video out there. If anyone's watching on YouTube right now and wants to just rewind a few seconds and screen record.
I went to go see Challengers by myself.
You also are okay. It's San Diego Sports 760. We're going to get to the big 3 here of hour number 2. Sammy saw that about 20 or 15 years ago when Brokeback Mountain came out.
Yeah, I'm 23 now, so it's like 8 watching Brokeback Mountain.
Sure, Jake Gyllenhaal and Heath Ledger. RIP. All right, Sammy, let's go ahead and smash it.
Your lunch break is here. Ready to go back to the office and knock the socks off your friends? I mean, coworkers? It's time for the top stories of the day. The Big 3.
Our buddy Jamar on YouTube saying the drama was actually pretty awesome.
I saw Jamar tweet that.
Very touchy subject to make the storyline interesting. Plus, all caps, Zendaya.
Exactly.
She's pretty, man.
That's again, shout out to people going to the Mario movie. But when my buddy who's 23 recommends the Mario movie over going to see the drama, I'm like, where are we at?
I would pick the Mario movie 10 out of 10 times, I would assume.
The drama. I heard it gets spicy in the drama.
Does it?
That's what I heard. Jamar can let us know.
Who's the guy?
Robert Pattinson, Batman.
Oh, dude. He's good.
Yeah, I know.
I like me some Robbie P, especially when he was Cedric in Harry Potter. My boy!
Cedric, Twilight.
My boy!
Oh, yeah. End of 4.
It's a sad scene.
That's depressing.
Oh,
dude.
it's hard to watch, man.
And then they start blaming Harry. Harry just gets a bad rap the entire show.
Mm-hmm. All right. Sammy, where are we going?
That got me thinking about the Harry
We're going
Potters.
to Hogwarts.
Okay. All right. North Carolina made a head coaching hire. Former Denver Nuggets head coach Mike Malone. Kind of a shocker heading to North Carolina. I don't know how many people saw this one coming, but do we like the hire? Do we like Mike Malone heading from the NBA to college? Do we think he'll have success there?
It's a home run hire. I really do believe that. I think Michael Malone, the way he's talked about the North Carolina job in the past, makes me think he has extreme reverence towards it, which this is religion for some people. The college basketball with North Carolina and Duke, it is taking that seriously. And obviously Hubert Davis, just a few years in, couldn't get the job done. And it's hard. Whoever was taking over for the job that Roy Williams left was going to have a damn near impossible job at hand. And so now, like, if Hubert Davis was the quote unquote burn hire, right? You hire somebody knowing that it's probably not going to last forever and unless things go perfectly. This is their next big swing. Now, what North Carolina's athletic director office is telling you is very similar to what they just did with football, right? You bring in Bill Belichick, who's a huge name from the professional ranks. I think that the term would be star effort. It kind of seems like North Carolina is going with. And so Michael Malone fits the mold of what they've been doing over the last couple of years. I think it's a really good hire. We'll see if it's great. Making that transition is not going to be easy for him. But understanding the importance of that North Carolina job is huge. And he has to get them back to the at least Final Four within the next 5 years, you would think.
I think he'll have a lot of success there. This is a guy who completely developed Jokic, completely developed Jamal Murray, making them big-time players. Nuggets won a championship with them. He was on the staff with Curry and Mark Jackson, some of those early teams that developed Curry, developed Klay Thompson, and he's going to be great. I think the NIL actually has made it easier for pro guys to go to college because in years past, it was like, obviously Mike Malone coached the game of basketball, and he's dealt with massive stars in the NBA, but could you recruit? But with the NIL, the recruiting is not as hard because you're writing blank checks in a school like North Carolina that has endless NIL funds and will consistently be up there at the top of getting star players. Mike Malone's going to sit there he's going to go into the meet with the families and go, listen, you want to go be an NBA star? I'll get you there. And you're at a big time program in North Carolina with a lot of funds, a program that is consistently on national television week in, week out during the college basketball season. I think Mike Malone's going to be a star there. And to your point, I think the big loser in this is Bill Belichick, who the only thing he had going for him is that he was bigger than the university. Well, now Malone brings a big following himself.
All right, let's get another one in here.
Troy Aikman. So this is kind of an odd story. He has this role with the Dolphins where
it's always been weird to me, by the way.
They haven't even defined the role. He's like helping out with the Miami Dolphins, but he's a part of the organization. But when they ask him in interviews, he's very cagey on what that actually is. He's joining them as a consulting role. That's kind of what he's thrown out there. He took a shot at the Cowboys, though, for basically not offering him the same job. Obviously won 3 championships, 3 Super Bowls with the Dallas Cowboys in the 90s, but kind of took a shot at Jerry for not offering him a consulting role with the team, and also wouldn't clarify if the Dolphins and the Cowboys ever met, who he would be rooting for. Do we like him taking a shot at the Cowboys, or were the Cowboys wrong to not offer him this? I mean, it's kind of an odd situation.
Here's kind of what I think about all the former Cowboys who are in prominent roles now. You think about Tony Romo, Michael Irvin, Troy Aikman. They kind of give it all to the Cowboys for free, so why would they pay for it? Like, right? Michael Irvin is
fair.
Literally just a walking press PR firm for the Cowboys. All he does
I
is
like
give
that about Irv too.
he gives them positive publicity, and he's shameless about it. When Tony Romo is calling Cowboy games, he talks about them differently than he talks about every other team. Troy Aikman, same thing. Like, it's very much a fraternity. Once you're in it, you continue to promote it after the fact, after you're done playing. So why would the Cowboys ever shell out more money than they already do? Who knows what kind of back alley deals there's been done between these guys. But why would the Cowboys bring Troy Aikman on? Because that just opens them and him up to extra criticism when he's positive on the broadcast.
Well, and take this. So let's say you give Aikman the role of the Cowboys. Then what if Irvin wants a role?
Right.
What if Deion Sanders? What if Emmitt Smith wants a role? Now every Cowboys legend can come go, wait, so Aikman gets a consulting role and I don't? I mean, he wasn't even the best player on that team. Irv was better. Deion Sanders was better. Emmitt Smith. I mean, there's a lot of guys who are bigger Cowboys legends. Aikman's obviously very famous because he's been on Monday Night Football, been on the Fox broadcast before with Joe Buck, and he was the quarterback of those teams. But, yeah, this is odd from Aikman. It's odd that he would kind of take a shot, and I actually got to give Jerry Jones and them some credit. I don't think you want to keep inviting in just recycling the same voices who you've heard for years. And to the point you made, they kind of give them free publicity for free. I mean, Aikman and Irv are always giving their thoughts on the state of the Dallas Cowboys because the Cowboys are such a big brand and they got a microphone in their face. I'm kind of surprised that Aikman's making this a story by taking a little bit of a jab at the Cowboys.
Well, there's more Cowboys in media than any other team, and it's not even close. And in prominent media roles, I mean, like, it is what it is, but they have a stranglehold on that, and that's part of Jerry's genius. If you want to slam him for some of his moves he's made as a general manager, fine, you can slam him for that. If you want to slam him for a PR aspect, Jerry Jones may be the greatest.
They're always
PR
talked
person.
about in every morning show off the jump on Mondays during NFL season.
He's the
Jerry
greatest PR person in sports history, and it's not even close. You can back that up a million times over with Jerry Jones. All right, coming up next, we are going to get back to the Padres for a little bit, and then JuJu Ballo is going to be joining us in about 12 minutes. He will be on StreamYard, so if you'd like to take a look at one of the top ranked rising star boxers in the world, jump on our YouTube page at San Diego Sports 760 as JuJu Ballo makes his way onto the stream coming up at 1:30 at San Diego Sports 760. You're listening live on the iHeartRadio app. San Diego Sports 760, Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2 o'clock today. Sammy will take over then and take you all the way up to the pregame coverage of the NCAA championship game between UConn and Michigan. JuJu Ballo going to be joining us coming up at 1:30. Don't go anywhere. That's going to be a lot of fun. We will have him on stream. So join us on YouTube at San Diego Sports 760 if you would like to see that interview in its entirety. Of course, everything will get posted later on in the day on the free iHeartRadio app, which you need to head over to, click the little plus button, add us to your presets. That helps us out with the bosses. So if you want to help us out, go to the free iHeartRadio app, search San Diego Sports 760, tap the preset button. Sammy, what's up?
And send us to talkbacks, little red microphone on the app. Would love to hear. Are you watching the game tonight? Are you avidly hate watching UConn tonight? Does that draw you to your TV, or are you less interested in seeing two blue bloods going after it? I'm going to play some coming up on my show in an hour.
Hell yeah, he is going long with Sammy from 2 to 3 every single day, leading you up to our drive time show, brand new Schaefer and Sliwa, which will return in its normalcy tomorrow. All right, Padres got a 3:40 start today, I'm pretty sure, against the Pittsburgh Pirates. And I think there's some positives we can take away from this weekend with the San Diego Padres. So season opens up. I think lots of disappointment, definitely here on these airwaves. You could hear it with me and Sammy, just the frustration of the continuation of what we saw last year with lack of hits with runners in scoring position, lack of timely hitting basically altogether, starting pitching, feeling like sometimes it was good enough, but the offense couldn't do anything to back it up. Well, this weekend, I think that changed, especially on Saturday and Sunday. You saw great timely hitting from Fernando Tatis Jr. on Saturday, where he really struggled for the entire game, gets up against Aroldis Chapman in clutch time, in the time where he needed to the most, smacks a double off the wall. Ramon Laureano follows it up with a nice little RBI single to get him in. So, like, you saw the timely hitting pop up on Saturday, and then yesterday, all game long, the stars were out. Manny Machado, Fernando Tatis Jr., Jackson Merrill, Xander Bogaerts go 9 for 12. 9 for 12 yesterday. That's the kind of thing you need to see more often over 162 regular game season if this Padres team wants to meet its full potential. And really, you don't even need all 4 of them. You need 3 of the 4, 2 of the 4. You just need something out of this core group of players to have a successful regular season. And we started to see signs of that. So we'll see if it continues against the Pirates. You're going to be facing really good pitching this week with the Pittsburgh Pirates, a team who's on a heater, by the way. I think they lost their first 2, haven't lost since. So the Pirates are going to be another challenge altogether. But I think you can have some subtle encouragement for what you saw over the weekend with the Padres.
I'm with you. It was cool to that end, seeing the stars come through. The guys that make the money, Manny Machado, Jackson Merrill, Fernando Tatis, and then Ramon Laureano. I said before the season, I thought he'd be the X factor for the team. The timely hitting, and not just hitting, because it's felt like the Padres over the years, especially last year, they could pour it on. I mean, when they got a lead in a game, they would drop 10 runs in a game, and then it's just the lack of consistency. So I'm very excited in this series because this is like, what is that word? The antithesis? Big words today. Antithesis? Antithesis, whatever that is. The Pirates are the opposite of the Padres. They lack big time bats. I mean, you got O'Neill Cruz, some guys like that, but they lack big time bats. Shut up. They lack big time bats, but they have excellent starting pitching. That's what gets the Pirates through the season. Bubba Chandler, they're really excited about. Obviously, Paul Skeens. Their top 3 is a very talented starting rotation who are going to try to take you deep in games. And let's see if what happened to the Padres a lot last year, Dylan Cease would get knocked out of games in the 3rd and 4th inning. Yu Darvish would get knocked out of games 3rd and 4th inning. Can the Padres flip the script and do what you did to Ranger Suarez yesterday and try to jump on a Skeens tomorrow, jump on a Bubba Chandler, and make them have to go to their bullpen, where you know the Padres have a massive advantage, but the Padres have to continue the bats because it was encouraging weekend against Boston, but Boston is struggling. You do it against the Pirates, who are surging, then I think the tune of the season so far, everyone gets to calm down, kind of reset. But it starts with today. You got to carry on that momentum from the last 2 days.
Would love to see it rip off a nice little run here, and maybe the 14-3 stretch from the beginning of last year, just delay it a couple weeks, and you can do that this year, and that can carry you all the way. I'm done not reacting to early season games. We will be reacting heavily to every single game, and it might not be the healthiest way to do it, but damn it,
it's a fun way to do it. It's our job to do it that way.
It's fun. I'm having a good time with the Padres so far. I enjoy watching these games. And it's because we're putting a lot on it. So if you want to do that with us, we would love to have you along for the ride. All right, coming up next, JuJu Ballo is going to be joining us ahead of his fight coming up on April 18th. This is one of the fastest rising stars in the world of boxing. Can't wait to chat. This will be our first time chatting with JuJu Ballo. That's next here on San Diego Sports 760. You're listening live on the iHeartRadio app.
Sports sponsored by Unbound.org. Padres back today, taking on the Pittsburgh Pirates, continuing on the road trip after winning the last two games against the Boston Red Sox, taking on the Pirates today at 3:40. Bubba Chandler on the mound for the Pirates, as well as German Marquez making his second start for the Padres in the national championship game tonight. Of course, hear that right here on San Diego Sports 760. UConn, Michigan. Michigan looking for its second national title. UConn looking for its seventh. UConn is currently a 6.5 point dog in the game with the point total set at 145.5. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice: continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You don't change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at unbound.org.
San Diego Sports 760, Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you till 2 o'clock today. John Schaefer will not be taking over then because Sammy's going to go for an extra hour. And then we got the national championship game here on San Diego Sports 760 later on tonight. Right now, very exciting. JuJu Ballo is going to be joining us. He is on StreamYard if you'd like to join us on YouTube at San Diego Sports 760. But JuJu is about to fight on April 18th against Roman Reyes at Front Wave Arena. He is the 2024 Golden Gloves champion, the 3-time USA Boxing National Champion, the 2021 USA Boxing Youth Boxer of the Year, the 2021 Junior Pan American Games gold medalist. It goes on and on and on. Most importantly, he is a San Diegan. Granite Hills High School. JuJu Ballo joining us on the show today. JuJu, what's going on, man? Nice to meet you.
Man, it's a pleasure to have me on. I appreciate you guys. I'm happy to be here.
It is a pleasure. It's our pleasure, JuJu. We're stoked to have you. So what? We're like 2 weeks out from this fight, you and Reyes. What's training camp like right now? What's your day-to-day going on right now?
It's training camp is going good. April 18th, my third professional fight. I had my first fight at Madison Square Garden in New York. I had my second fight in Hollywood. My third fight, we're bringing it back to San Diego. My hometown where I'm born and raised. The training's going great, man. Training's going great. I'm excited to put on for the city.
Reyes brings in a record of 6-1. What do you see when you're looking at him that he brings to this fight that you're gonna have to deal with?
I think he's a phenomenal fighter. I think he's a great fighter. He's not a Uber driver like some of these guys be picking. He's 6 wins, 1 loss. He got 5 knockouts. 5 wins by knockouts. So I gotta be smart. I gotta go in there and I gotta handle business, and I gotta use my great experience that I have from the amateurs.
All right, JuJu Ballo joining us here, one of the top-ranked up-and-comers in the world of boxing, a super featherweight. He's 5'7", man, born April 20th, one of the youngest rising stars in the world of boxing. And just talk about, I guess, your history here in San Diego, JuJu, and how East County kind of shaped you. And I know your relationship with your dad got you to the point where you're at right now.
Definitely. So, I'm born here in San Diego, born and raised. I went to Granite Hills High School. San Diego is my home. I've always wanted to fight here in San Diego. So I'm definitely blessed, and I'm happy to have the support from all the San Diego people. It's been phenomenal. I look forward to giving them a great performance April 18th.
You obviously cousins with Johnny Mansour. What has that been like, both growing up in San Diego, able to kind of see your guys' careers blossom at the same time and being able to kind of piggyback off each other?
It's definitely been a blessing. It's definitely been a blessing to have somebody with me, where we can, push each other to become better. It's having iron sharpens iron. So it's definitely a blessing to have somebody like that with you, pushing you and pushing each other to become better. It's definitely a blessing.
Now, JuJu, earlier you were talking about how you fought in New York, you fought in Hollywood, but you fought at MSG. Is that right? Madison Square Garden?
Yeah, I've had the Madison Square Garden in July last year.
All right, so you fight at Madison Square Garden, and do you realize the history behind it? Like Andrew Dice Clay performing there, selling that place out, the different people who have performed on the stage there, the different fighters who have been there, and the epic fights like Muhammad Ali has fought there.
Yeah,
all the all-time greats have gone there. How do you deal with the history when you're walking into an environment like that?
It comes from, this was earned, this was not given. So this is where I belong. So, it's something that I am thankful for, but it's something that I earned to be in this position, So I expect myself and I expect, my team to be in this position. This is where we want to be. We want to be on the biggest stages. So, I always thank God for it. And I always thank, my promotion, Top Rank Boxing, for, giving me the opportunity. And, just the beginning, one day we're going to headline there.
They say in boxing that you don't get paid for overtime. I'm curious, like you coming up, you've obviously had a very successful career so far. I remember watching your fight at MSG when it was happening. How do you balance getting to kind of bank rounds and work on some things you have in training camp versus, or just go in there and try to get them out as fast as possible?
You got to take it round by round. You really got to take it round by round. And, as an experienced fighter, I had over 200 amateur fights. So you really got to use your experience, and you got to, round one, you got to break him down. You got to kind of loading, you got to figure out what he's bringing, calculate your range, calculate your timing, calculate your speed, your power, calculate his, fundamentals. And then as the rounds go, you start punching on him a little bit more, round by round, minute by minute. And then, if the knockout comes, it comes. But end of the day, you got to make it clear.
One of the top contenders at the super featherweight division, JuJu Ballo, joining us today. He's going to be fighting against Roman Reyes on April 18th at Front Wave Arena. Sammy and I will be at this fight. We can't wait for it, man. One of the biggest boxing promotions to come to Front Wave in their young history here. 2024 Golden Gloves champion, 3-time USA Boxing National champion, and right here out of San Diego, East County, the pride of Granite Hills. JuJu, you are a San Diegan through and through. You've said it 5 or 6 times here in the last 6 or 7 minutes. When you think about San Diego and you think about San Diego food, what's the best spot?
Man, I gotta go with my San Diego spot, El Pueblo Mexican food. El Pueblo Mexican food.
Brother.
Man, that place is the best. They got restaurants all over up north, Del Mar, Carmel Valley, La Jolla, Carlsbad, and all that. You know, that's my cheat meal. I go for the carne asada fries.
Nice.
That place is fantastic. The Mexican candy shop's pretty good there too, especially at Carmel Valley location. But I'm curious. So you're fighting at 130 pounds. There's some big down the road, some big fighters in that weight class. Emmanuel Navarrete, Oshaki Foster. I'm curious who you look at in that division as, like, you know, maybe a year or two down the road, who you want, you and somebody else will make the biggest money fight.
Yeah, this fight is at a catch weight at 129, but I'm looking to get a title at featherweight 126. So I'm looking to get a title at 126. So I won't be at super featherweight. I'll be at featherweight.
We got YouTube comments coming in from our buddy Rod. JuJu, the future GOAT. That's certainly in the plans for JuJu Ballo, who's joining us today. And on YouTube, you can watch us at San Diego Sports 760. Now, JuJu, this might be a little different, and it's not really a boxing question. It's more just a fame question, because you're young. You're a young guy. And what, are you 22, about to turn 23?
Yeah, I'll be turning 23 2 days after my fight.
That's right. So being as young as you are, and I see you're sitting in some sort of badass car, but dealing with the fame as early as it's come. I mean, you're up to hundreds of thousands of followers across social media. What's that been like, kind of transitioning from being the kid at Granite Hills High School to now all of a sudden being an international celebrity?
It's definitely been a blessing. It's definitely been a blessing. You know, I'm nothing without my supporters. I'm nothing without my supporters. So, you know, I got over 1.3 million followers across all platforms: Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Snapchat. It's definitely a blessing. I'm very, very thankful for all of my supporters, because without them, you know, we're nothing. You know, I'm nothing. So, you know, I just want to do my job to entertain them and give them, you know, the best entertainment possible.
You mentioned you were with Top Rank. I remember, you know, signing with Bob Arum. What about Top Rank and Bob Arum really kind of sold you on that promotion that, you know, Top Rank could take you to the next level throughout your career?
Yeah, I think we actually they invited me down to Bob Arum's house in Beverly Hills, and we went and we had a great lunch there. We talked with them and spoke with them, and, you know, with their great experience working with, you know, Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, Muhammad Ali. You know, I really believe, you know, they will give me my dream, which is to become world champion, so that they can help shape and guide me into that direction. And me and my team, we're gonna make it happen.
JuJu Ballo joining us today. He's got a fight coming up on April 18th at Front Wave Arena up in Oceanside. You got to go get tickets now and get there to watch a San Diegan dominate the ring, or so we hope. Now, JuJu, when you think about moving forward, just the world of boxing as a whole, we talk so much about the health of games. Like, baseball is heading for this massive lockout next year. We'd say baseball is not very healthy. For boxing, what do you see the next 5 to 10 years of the sport looking like? You think it's heading in the right direction?
Man, I think boxing is only going up, because you can see it. You know, you can see it with all the people and the TV networks. You know, look at Netflix. Netflix is now involved with boxing. Paramount Plus, Amazon Prime, ESPN, DAZN. It's you know, it's at the end of the day, it's entertainment. Entertainment is very rare to find people that are in the business now. You know, actual performers. People are not doing these performances anymore. So when you do get a performer, it's very rare to get them, and that's why pay's going up. That's why the numbers are going up, and I think boxing is headed in a great direction.
We're having your cousin Johnny Mansour on later this week. I'm curious, before he gets a word on this, I'm gonna ask him the same question: who wins in sparring between you and him?
Hey man, you gotta pay to see that. But I'm never gonna say someone's better than me. I'm always take the average.
JuJu, come on. And when did that start? Were you guys like 10 years old, wrestling each other, boxing each other? Or is that?
I was actually leaving my grandma's house. We were both chilling there, and he asked me, "Where you going?" I said, "I'm going to the gym to train boxing with my dad." And he said, "Can I come with you?" I was like, "Let's go." Ever since then, he's been coming with me every day.
That's awesome, man. That is awesome. It's got to be so cool having like a brother-like figure or a cousin kind of going through it all with you in your life. Well, man, you seem like a hell of a dude. We're pumped. We hope this is just the beginning. Also, I can't wait for April 18th. Anything else to plug the event itself? Anything you want to say to get people in San Diego out to Front Wave Arena in Oceanside on April 18th?
Hey, San Diego, come watch some knockout performances. It's going to be a phenomenal night of boxing, a great night of entertainment. Get your tickets, sdfightnight.com, sdfightnight.com. I'll see everybody there, April 18th. Come watch the JuJu show. Let's go.
Can't wait for it, man. We're pumped. Thank you so much. Pleasure meeting you, and we'll talk to you soon.
Peace out. Appreciate you guys.
JuJu Ballo. How about that?
Hell yeah, man.
How do you feel, Sammy?
I'm excited, man.
You're a boxing nut. This dude's a fast up and comer, a fast riser. What do you think?
I'm being 100% serious. I remember when he got signed before we ever talked about ever having him on the show. And Top Rank he's 100% right. I mean, Top Rank has done an exceptional job and over the years of building guys up. You know, like he said, he's not fighting a cab driver against Roman Reyes. He is taking a step up in competition. You're going to see him start fighting some veterans here soon. And then that weight class. I mean, there's a lot of fun names around that. He's going back down to 126, but those whole kind of smaller divisions have really been running boxing the last couple of years with the amount of talent. I mean, you got Jesse Bam Rodriguez, Naoya Inoue, and hanging around that weight class someday. So yeah, sky's the limit. And we're talking about a serious, not just San Diego fun story. It's a potential world champion someday, and it's going to be fun following his career.
You heard it here first. Sammy's been trying to get JuJu Ballo on for an interview for like a year and a half now.
Yes.
So glad this dream finally came to fruition. But I was blown away by just how humble he is. 23 years old, that well-spoken, that knowledgeable about where the fight game is going. He's somebody who might be able to turn a lot of people into fans here very, very soon.
He said he's going for the knockout too. You hear that? You catch that little last part there?
Yeah. Maybe a little sprinkle come April 18th. Sammy and I'll be up in the stands at Front Wave losing our minds.
That was the right to answer when I asked him about who wins inspiring. He said you got to pay to see that.
Yeah.
If you're good at something, never do it for free. You know.
Yeah, I believe the Joker said that in The Dark Knight Rises. Good for you. All right, that was JuJu Ballo, man. Very excited to see where his career goes. Can't wait to see what happens. And again, sdfightnight.com is where you buy those tickets. April 18th, Front Wave Arena, which is a beautiful venue, man. I'm pumped for this. This is going to be a lot of fun. All right, San Diego Sports 760 Masters picks on the other side. Get ready to lock in, people. The biggest golf tournament in the world is coming up on Thursday. It's San Diego Sports 760. You're listening live on the iHeartRadio app. Look at me. I know food. And when I'm telling you, one of the best burgers I've ever had in my life is at the Valley View Casino and Hotel. I'm not lying to you. The Austin Burger at Patties and Pints is one of the best burgers I've ever had in my life. Think double Western bacon cheeseburger on steroids. The onions perfectly crispy. The bacon nice and thick. And the burger itself. Woo! That patty was delightful. Get on out to the Valley View Casino and Hotel. Try out Patties and Pints. You got TV screens everywhere for sports watching. You got amazing burgers, deep dish pizzas, ice cold draft beer, and creamy shakes. You got to get out to Patties and Pints at the Valley View Casino and Hotel. I will be there coming up on Saturday night. Can't wait. Taking some buddies out. We're going to Valley View. We're going to gamble. We're going to eat some incredible burgers made with the Valley View Casino signature all beef blend featuring your favorite toppings, Patties and Pints, serving burgers and American classics with an unbeatable dining experience. You can grab a pint from their extensive list of craft beer on draft, sip on hand-selected wines, innovative cocktails and martinis, or indulge in a deliciously creamy shake. Visit Patty's and Pints at the Valley View Casino and Hotel today and enjoy your favorite all-American dishes prepared to perfection. And while you're there, don't forget, join the Players Club and get $10 off your meal at Patties and Pints, plus $10 or more play, which is free slot play, $10 of match play, $20 for the Black and Blue Steakhouse, more and more and more and more freebies with the Valley View Casino and Hotel Players Club card. And once you upgrade from red card to blue card status, you're going to get 2 free Maine lobster buffets. That's over $200 in free offers to use at San Diego's favorite casino. Signing up is always quick, easy, and free. And the more you use your Players Club card on all your favorite slots or table games, the more rewards you're going to earn. So what are you waiting for? Get on out to the Valley View Casino and Hotel and join the Ultimate Players Club to get over $200 in free offers today. All guests 21 and over are invited to enjoy the casino, hotel, and restaurant. To learn more, visit valleyviewcasino.com.
Oh, it cut it out? Hold on.
What?
All right.
No, so we're starting this all over. Sounds good. It's San Diego Sports 760. Ben Fletcher, Sammy Long with you for a few more minutes here. Going Long with Sammy is coming up next.
By the way, I want to hear Masters picks. Soulja Boy, very underrated catalog that does not get talked about enough.
Kiss Me Through the Phone. This song. That's about all I got.
There's a few other song titles I can't read on here, but go to Apple Music Essentials.
Or iHeartRadio app.
Oh yeah,
God,
screw
you
Apple
gotta get
Music.
better at this, Sammy.
iHeart Music. Go to iHeart. Go to iHeart app. No, why would you go to any other app?
I wouldn't. All right, it's San Diego Sports 760. I did promise this at the beginning of the show, and here they come. Now, Sammy takes us through on a regular basis picks for whatever's coming up in the world of sports, and I think he does a hell of a job. I really do. We call that long shots. I don't know what we call this. I'm just going to give you picks.
Flet shots.
Sure, that sounds kind of nasty.
Shots from Flet.
Yeah, back shots, baby. All right, here's what we're going to do.
Dump button.
What? Come on. All right, YouTube, you got that one. Nobody else did, apparently. So when we talk about the Masters, lines change super, super fast because over the next couple of days, you're going to see practice rounds. Those get started tomorrow. The Pro-Am coming up on Wednesday. So everything is going to change. Today is the day where you can actually get some value on the Masters. So I'm just going to tell you what I have placed for opening day, which is coming up on Thursday. This is for the first round and the first round only. If you like this, I will share it with you. You can DM me on anything at Fletch Sports. I will send you this exact lineup. Akshay Bhatia is on fire to start this year. The dude is a madman. If you've watched everything he does, he's mic'd up. He has a great social media presence. The conversations between he and his caddy, it's like they're solving freaking geometric equations every single day when they're out on the golf course.
And he uses the belly putter still.
He's great. More than 3.5 birdies in his opening round. And he's been playing excellent golf here lately. Bryson DeChambeau. The dude's on a tear recently. I easily could have gone the other way on this, but I do think Bryson's going to show up big for the first round. Less than 70.5 strokes on his first round.
Okay.
Harris English plays very well at Augusta. He plays very well at shorter courses that are a little bit more challenging with your approach shots. He's not the best driver of the golf ball, but once he gets into the fairway, the dude's money. Harris English, less than 71.5 strokes in his opening round. And then Rory.
Oh, I don't like the way this is going.
And then Rory. I think Rory's going to have a good first round. I don't think he's going to have a great Masters, but this is the first time in like 20 years since Rory turned pro that he's going into a Masters with zero pressure. So I think we see a calm, relaxed Rory McIlroy.
But do you think that'll make him better or worse?
I think it'll make him better in the first round. I think he didn't do the same ramp up physically that he did for the last Masters. Okay. So I don't know if he's going to hold out over all 4 days. But I think for the first round, more than 4.5 birdies. Not going with a final score for Rory. I just think he is going to shoot low on day one, but I think it's going to come with a lot of birdies, but there may be some mistakes.
I'm riding with Fletch. Fletch is my golf guy. In fact, Fletch is coming on my show tomorrow at 2:30 to preview all the Masters.
Yeah, we're going to help him out.
Rich McGuire saying don't sleep on Aberg in the Masters. Yeah.
So there is a list right now, and I can share this with you also. DM me at Fletch Sports. A buddy that I trust, and he put out like basically the criteria for winning the Masters this year. There's only like 3 guys who can win it, according to him. John Rahm is one of them. Ludwig Aberg is another one of them. Plus,
Tommy Fleetwood.
Ludwig Aberg, if you haven't seen him, the dude was just chiseled out of stone. For some reason, he's like the most handsome guy walking the earth these days. And he's also a great golfer. So he's got that swagger and that confidence, that QB1 energy.
I'm riding with Fletch. I like your picks.
John Rahm is my pick to win it all, by the way.
Masters week. One of the great weekends of all time. I can't wait to get this thing started. And there's some interesting bets because I feel like it's not as much just Scotty versus the field in this one.
Not at all. In fact, Scotty Scheffler is not really being talked about as somebody who's going to win this Masters, which makes me a little nervous.
Right. He could just pull this thing out. And
he might be the favorite in the Vegas books, but I'll tell you, the people I follow on social media and everywhere, they're not talking about Scotty as if he's winning this.
I can't wait to see Rory because to your point, playing without the pressure could really help Rory in that he had so much pressure to finally break through last year. But at the same time, to what you're getting to, do you have that same intensity, that same kind of eye of the tiger to go win this thing, especially when you're serving lamb or whatever at the Masters
That's
dinner?
What I'm saying, man. There's so much that comes with being the previous Masters champion. I do think he plays well on day one. But think about what he's been focused on for the last 2 months. It hasn't necessarily been playing in the Masters. Like he was so locked in leading up to last year's Masters. I don't think he's done the same prep for this year. So Rory makes me nervous after day one, but day one, I think he plays very well.
Get those bets in now.
Get him in now. All right, it's San Diego Sports 760. I almost got dumped within 2 times.
Well, I
within
dumped
5
you
minutes
and
of
then
each
you
other.
accidentally.
I didn't. I stopped myself. All right, we're done for today. Sammy keeps going. Then at 3 o'clock, we got NCAA Championship, Michigan, UConn. You can hear it here on San Diego Sports 760. I'll see you tomorrow.